We will now be discussing traditional meeting room spaces, boardrooms, and the place of microphones in these spaces. We'll start once again with introductions. So if the panelists could just introduce themselves for the audience once more.
Hello everyone. I'm Kazuyuki Sakurai from Audio Technica and in charge of the head of product and project management second and handling the all professional products besides the transducer products and software applications. Thank you.
Hi everyone. So I'm Noriko Matsui. I'm in product and project management. Especially, I was a microphone engineer and joined to that development team again. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Titikorn. I'm from Vichai Trading, 1983. We are a system integrator based in Bangkok, Thailand.
Let's get right to it. Traditional meeting rooms, boardrooms, do they still have a place in corporate spaces today? And are they still relevant to the Asia Pacific region?
Technology has changed, and then we've seen a lot of new kind of meeting spaces. Like earlier we talked today about huddle rooms, but I think the corporate boardroom in Asia Pacific, I think is still very important. Meeting space is because of the structure of the way the corporations and the government and the education sector here is structured. We have in Asia we have like a hierarchy of ranking in position. So you have the president, the vice president, and the whatever. So these kind of spaces, it allows the meeting to be more structured. It allows who can talk first and who can talk second. So we still see quite a high demand for this kind of smart boardroom.
I agree with that. Based on our market hearing in Asia, still there is big needs of the delegate style conference system is still very popular in the boardroom in Asia regions. Also, I think in some boardroom application, the wireless microphone or wireless delegate style conference system is required, especially in case with the expensive furniture. But anyway, including Japan, in Asia regions, still a very traditional style conference system is preferred in the boardroom.
Japanese government meeting style is if you say something that they need to stand up, means they need a long gooseneck microphone to capture it. So we have so many type of gooseneck microphones. So we are still having such a demand from those kind of SI companies. And now we know that even those meeting style, it's more safety to sharing our microphone system. But I heard from SI company people that if they needed to use a kind of a translated system or needed to record what they are talking, in that case, they will recommend our gooseneck microphone because such an accuracy is like 90 or more than 90% if they use the gooseneck microphone. But if they compare with that gooseneck microphone, the sharing our accuracy is dropped less than 70%. It was very interesting for us.
I know that gooseneck microphones are very popular in traditional boardrooms, but to expand on that, are you guys seeing a change in that? Do you think that seeing that all these new kinds of meetings are happening in huddle spaces, is that impacting traditional meeting rooms as well? Do they need new kind of microphones? Are you maybe seeing boundary microphones increase in popularity? Are there any trends that you can identify?
I think some people are still believing that the gooseneck microphone is the best solution because they don't know so much about the other the choices, like ceiling microphones, for example. So as a microphone transducer company, so we have the other option for them. So we have to introduce somehow. Yeah, if they change the equipment, in that case, they will be able to change their meeting style. For example, they don't need to stand up anymore like this. So we can show somehow with the other options, of course, yes.
Yeah, I think about the gooseneck microphones, besides the innovation, we are still going to have the improvement in terms of transducer technology. For example, with the traditional conference system, the pushing the button, sometimes the vibration is come to the microphone and make some noise. So we are going to, for example, improve the floating mechanism of the microphone unit to reduce that kind of noise.
I think I agree that like gooseneck microphone is important in many levels of a meeting room, but at the highest level of a boardroom, because boardroom, at least in Thailand, is something that the company or the organization they really invest in the boardroom to make it look nice. They pay many millions of dollars for the interior design. So when it comes to the top level boardroom, the interior designer would take the lead in almost everything, and then all the AV will go under the interior designer. So actually, the boardroom in Thailand now, we actually use a lot of the Audio-Technica ES945. This is a small button microphone. It's very small, and then it's not too far. It's not too far from where you are, so the voice pickup is still quite good. But the good thing is, it really blends in with the table environment. It's very small, but the sound quality is quite nice. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, actually, yeah, I could have such a reputation from the SI company when they're using our ES945, because gooseneck. Some people may believe the gooseneck is the best, but our band microphone is enough to capture the sound quality if they're in like a press mount style. So I would recommend them to use it. And if we have our LED ring around it, it's very good to know the status, and the microphone is very accepted by the such an architectures, because nowadays this kind of equipment will be decided by not only such an SI company from the audio side, but also more aesthetic reason.
Very nice insight from the panel, and I'd like to just delve a little bit deeper into something that was said. Structure is something that microphones are very good at providing. Right, if you want a structured meeting, you can have different microphone setups, you can have different delegate units, you can have a chairman unit. That's something that is done very well. I want to explore the smart portion of these discussions. Do you think that we have enough features to bring in documents, bring in wireless presentation, bring in things like sharing of content through these delegate units right now? And if so, what more features do we want to see?
We know that, for example, there is lots of delegate units product with touch panel display, and perhaps we should develop that kind of product in the future. However, at the same time, we know that, for example, about the voting, instead of using the voting unit by the hardware company, now the software application that allows a very easy management of the voting unit is available. So I think basically a trend or a direction, future direction of the document sharing or voting management is maybe not from hardware company, but from the software. So important thing for the hardware manufacturer should be the collaboration with that kind of software company, I think.
And Vichai, are you seeing demand from end users for document sharing when you're doing these kind of traditional boardrooms, or is it still very standard?
I think it's picking up more and more. I think wireless sharing, document sharing, is we're seeing the demand for it. But I do agree. I do agree that I think manufacturers needs to be more open to I think the future we're moving towards more like open-ended stuff. So like Audio Technica is very good at building microphone. So yeah, it should continue to build microphone, but microphone can be linked to other devices that can do other things, and especially with the software, because there's so many software out there, and also so many wireless sharing devices. So being able to work collaboratively with collaborating those devices into other things would be, I think that would be good for the end user and for the SI company.
What are some of the pain points or pressure points that end users are identifying to you when you talk to them in the context of traditional boardrooms and microphones in traditional boardrooms?
So one is the look and feel, so the design, the interior, and the other one is the quality of the sound. And those two things doesn't always seem to go hand in hand, because the interior or the designer, they want the microphone as far away as possible, hidden away as possible. So I think a lot of people are trying to put it in the ceiling, but when you put it in the ceiling, okay, for the huddle room it maybe makes sense because it's a small room, but for a boardroom we just don't see that yet. So that's the two things that you have to balance. So right now, for us, we find a good kind of like a balance in the as I said, the ES945, but but the main point of the boardroom is how the boardroom will actually look and the interior design of the room. That's a very important point for the end user.
In my understanding, in Asia, still the gooseneck microphone is quite popular in the traditional meeting space. And that is not only come from the audio quality necessity, but come from some discussion culture, I think. The gooseneck microphone has give some image of authority and the professional, and some good image of excellent communicator.
The other thing I see is that the people using traditional boardrooms, they're usually C-level or higher up in the food chain when it comes to these businesses. So their time is very precious. And they want to come into the meeting room and they want the meeting to start instantly. They don't want IT to be involved. They just want everything to work. And obviously microphones are a part of that, but can we do something in terms of making meetings in traditional boardrooms more seamless, quicker, more intuitive, require less IT management?
I think the major issue is for the end user is, as you mentioned, the preparation just before the meeting takes place. So at first, our products now having open IP/TCP control, so the system integrator can freely utilize the IP to have the easy setup by their application. Also, our product individually has a preset function. For example, our conference system ATUC50 has a preset function, and that is very normal in the DSP, but that is unique in the conference system in my understanding. So the end user can just select the preset number just before the meeting. Also, in addition to that, although there are lots of established DSP brands in the market, but as microphone manufacturers, we have several DSP where the smart mix algorithm are working, and our smart mix algorithm has a gain sharing algorithm that allows the users to automatically change the volume of a microphone without the needs by setting microphone one by one.
Yeah, when I joined the Audio Technica, I think we are well known for such an audio transducer company, but now I'm so happy to work with the new engineering teams because we can have such a solution that Sakura-san now mentioned it. So we try to introduce the recent technologies more with our current traditional technology like a microphone too.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the ease of use, as the other panelists said, I think the power of the DSP is quite important, because in a boardroom you're not talking about like 3 or 4 people talking. You're talking about maybe 20, 30, 40, 100 people in a room. So people don't come in with the same voice. Some people, maybe the boss will be very softly speaking. So the DSP or the microphone needs to, improve the gain. So to make sure that, the voice is loud and clear, because, or some people who will have like a naturally loud voice, maybe lower it down. But the trend for the meeting room, the boardroom in Southeast Asia is the sound, the voice needs to be very loud and very clear. So that is something we always need to address.
And my last question would be a two-parter. The first one would be directed towards Vichai, which would be, for microphones in traditional boardrooms, what are some features that you want to see? What are some things that your customers are demanding but you can't provide right now because you maybe don't have the right products available, or essentially what you would like to see in the future? And the second part of this question, directed to Audio Technica, would be, could you share your roadmap for the future? What kind of products are you thinking about? What kind of features do you want to introduce to the market?
Okay, so Audio Technica and the quality of the audio and the quality of the microphone is, very, very good, and we are very, very happy with them. But I think what we like to see in the future is, I think Audio Technica is a very, very technical company, very good with engineering. But, we like to see, because the product that you made will go into a lot of a very high-end installation. So we love to see like a better design part of it, the product design, the way it looked, because we think Japan has some very good designer, very nice Japanese design product, and we like to see something that make the interior designer look, okay, wow, we love to show this microphone on the table because it's so nice, rather than hiding it away. Because as we know, the closer you are from the mouth to the microphone, the better. So I think that's something that as a SI who has to deal with a lot of designer all the time, we like to see. Yeah.
Okay.
That's important. Yeah. We will.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. So our ES954 was the one of the answer for it, because we had industrial designer on it. So because it's very important, sometimes more than the sound quality for installation. So now I'm focused on to improve our current lineup to more easy setup or more to have a more variety of choices to how to set up. Even for the ranks, we have a lot of choices, but we are going to offer more flexibility, not only for the end user, but also such an SI company, so that that you could save such an inventory, because so we will have otherwise we will have so many SKU on it. So we are trying to reduce it.
Yeah. Also, I understand his feedbacks that we should have improved our industrial design, and of course, in the past, the professional audio products could be some boring style. However, in the current, for example, workplace becoming very modern situation that all employee should enjoy their work, then the all furniture and AV instrument should be the nicer look. We understand, so we need to improve that.